Mr. Durso.
Just to tag on with Mr. Manis, and as we try to wrap up, I would agree with a number of the points he made. A couple subplots, grading and reporting is still a bone of contention with some teachers. Mr. Kaufman mentioned the 50% rule. I dare say there's not a teacher out there who couldn't give you a very strong opinion one way or the other about that part. We have adjusted some of our attendance policies, and that perhaps has not always been interpreted the way it's been intended. I'd also suggest, as we explore the work group strategy, that I gather in some segments of the community that they might be becoming a little weary of work groups. I think they are certainly worthwhile, but I would hope that this one coming up will not drag on too long before maybe some kind of recommendations could be made. And then my last point, you've mentioned, Dr. Starr, and I agree that we need to be careful of not just singling out one piece of data, but yet frequently when we're touting our successes, it is one piece of data that triggers, you know, our feelings about the things that are going good. One piece of data on SAT scores, one piece of data on advanced placement tests, and yet when we get to a piece of data that's a bit cumbersome or difficult to interpret, we almost sound like we minimize it. So I think within all of that context, we certainly right now have more questions than answers, but I hope we can begin to address it, and I certainly hope, as I think one or more of our colleagues have mentioned, that teachers could be in this discussion. I could tell you right now a quick 5 or 10 question survey that we could construct in a short period of time on math teachers' feelings on what predicament they're in and where we are, I think would really be an eye-opener. I worry, you know, the new or veteran Algebra 1 teacher who's kind of carrying the school on their back. How do we deal with that? Mr. Naiman this morning, I thought, brought up a great point in terms of upcoming semester exams and the impact that will have, especially with the information that I think Rockville High School, through their principal and PTA president, maybe didn't intend to. I really think they did us a favor, maybe in a roundabout way. That issue of final exams coming up in 2 or 3 weeks is not going to go away. So we certainly have a lot to sink our teeth into, and I think we can, but I hope we're very upfront and candid about maybe where it's going to lead us.